Fact number 2.
Fact number 2? Wait a second. Oh, right, it's more of that video. The 10 undeniable facts that prove God is real. We only managed to get through the obvious prophecies are obvious portion last time, and we didn't even really finish that before I got bored and wandered off to get drunk, probably. So screw it, that bit was painfully long anyway, so let's see what else he has that totally proves the God-man and is the undeniables.
DNA is more complex than a computer program.
Oh my god, I think I've made a horrible mistake. I knew the guy was thicker than 2 short planks glued together with pig shit, but is he really going straight there? Damn it. Fine, let me just get my waskies now so I don't end up wandering off early. Although I make no promises that I won't end up needing more.
People don't realize just how amazing our human DNA truly is.
Amazing? Yeah, amazingly dumb and poorly written to boot. I mean, whoever it was that made that spaghetti code should be fired into a wall, because it's an absolute failure and not even remotely fit for purpose. The amount of mistakes in it is frankly absurd. It's almost like it practically wrote itself, it's that bad.
It's like an intricate computer program with a code number for each person that is 3 billion letters long.
Well, that's not true. I mean, the 5 billion number probably is, but depending on what you consider a program, something like an operating system, which I think is a fair comparison because humans must have a kind of operating system alongside everything else that code does, and an OS can be multiple billions of lines long, not letters, lines, as in a string of multiple letters and numbers, making it infinitely more complex than what you're presenting. And probably a lot more functional too.
Think about that.
I have, and here's why this whole premise is so fucking stupid. Yeah, it's long. So what? Length and complexity are not indicators of value or quality. Given enough time and resources, I could probably write some very sloppy code that very poorly and ineffectively achieves a function. And a somewhat experienced coder could do the same thing in far less time with a lot less code that works a lot better. My code would undoubtedly be more complicated, but that in no way would make it even remotely good.
And according to what science has learned, 99.9% of our DNA is identical.
That would explain why all you humans look alike to me, all with those squishy round heads and flappy limbs and that fucking annoying noise you all make all the time. I think they call it talking. I would be grateful if you cut that shit out. Christ, I don't know how any of you stand it. That's why I just crank up the metal. It's not because I like it, it's because it drowns you all out. Bliss.
Dr. Francis Collins, director of the Human Genome Project, the one that mapped the human DNA structure.
Oh, that one. I thought you mean the other Human Genome Project, where they turned a human into a gangster gnome for military and hilarity applications. I mean, come on, if you saw that thing headed towards your base, you can't tell me that you would be able to do anything but laugh at how absurd the concept was, and then BAM! You're all dead.
Said that one can think of DNA as an instructional script, a software program sitting in the nucleus of the human cell.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's just not the same thing, is it? It's not a bad analogy to help you understand how a bunch of letters can equal a person, but its implementation and execution just isn't like the kind of code that humans write, because again, it's just a f***ing mess. Even the sloppiest code anyone has ever written probably lacks a fraction of the amount of worthless shit in the humans code. And I ain't even talking about the stuff that does nothing. I mean, like, those arm things. Do they really need them? Frankly, all they seem to do is get them into trouble. I would replace them with electric eels, because at least then something with intelligence is in charge of the extremities. Also lightning.
Perry Marshall, an information specialist, comments on the implications of this, stating,
"Just going to point out that one person's opinion on something, even if they are an expert, isn't the be-all and end-all facts. I know you lot like to take what one guy said often out of context and present it as the scientific consensus, but that's just not how any of that shit works, dude.
There has never existed a computer program that wasn't designed, whether it is a code or a program or a message given through a language. There is always an intelligent mind behind it."
Which is part of why calling genetic shit code in the same vein as binary or C++ or whatever is dumb. Because it's not the same thing. Also, I don't know when this was said, but that's kind of becoming less true as we start building and implementing adversarial AI systems to basically have code write itself. You end up with software that oftentimes the people who started it off have no idea how it works, and frankly, if you kick something off but don't know how it functions, saying that there's a mind behind it is disingenuous at best.
That leads to the question of who wrote this script?
I think I know the answer to that. A fucking dumbass, obviously. And no, I don't just mean your script, I mean mine too. But let's be fair, I'm really letting the side down for dumbassery compared to you. MVP of stupid you are, dude. Congratulations.
And who placed this advanced code inside the cell? It obviously had to be an intelligent being.
Nope, no one placed it because no one had to. That shit evolved. There's no obviously about it. In fact, because it's so unnecessarily complicated and inefficient, kind of proves the opposite of it being designed. It shows that it was iterated upon with changes only a series of essentially random alterations would have caused. If someone was making those choices on purpose, it would make literally zero sense. But if it was some kind of process, and suddenly there's a logical explanation that doesn't involve some sort of incompetent superpowered code monkey.
And that being, I present to you, is the eternal God of the universe described in the Bible.
Even if you are right, you're not, but even if the code was code and put there by someone, it is a massive, humongous leap to then say it was this guy from this book for no reason. You don't get to say that without more of your terrible evidence. But I do have some bad news for you. That evidence, if you even have any, is probably going to be shithouse too.
Fact number 3. The Earth is designed to sustain life.
No, it isn't. That's just, oh my god, is this video just, I have never been on the internet to find out if these stupid ideas have been repeatedly demonstrated to be categorically false, and more than a little bit completely idiotic? I swear, do you people even know how to use Google? It's that thing that happens when you press the internet button. Wait, no, that's Bing. Stop. No! It's so shit.
There are numerous conditions that a planet needs to meet in order to sustain life.
No, there are numerous conditions that are needed in order to sustain life as we know it. This is why thing 1 is fucking dumb. You see, the concept that the planet was created in order to sustain life is so goddamn dumb because it's just asked backwards. Like, what exactly would you expect the life on a planet with certain conditions to look like? You wouldn't expect it to not be a fit for that environment. You would, in fact, expect it to use the things that are there, like oxygen and water and whatever else is abundant. What the else would they do?
That, if altered the slightest amount, would make that planet uninhabitable.
Wrong. You are wrong. Aside from the fact that there are creatures that can live almost anywhere, such as tardigrades, but even the humans can live in a wide variety of climates, and many plants and the like do so as well. Not to mention that the atmosphere has changed. Climate change, it's a fucking thing. And even if you want to be a human cause denier, morons. Then at the very least you probably understand that the general temperature of the Earth varies wildly over time. Ice ages, they're a thing, and plenty of critters lived through those. So yeah, stupid argument. Perhaps stop.
And Earth meets all of those conditions. Coincidence?
No, but not for the reason that you think it is, you colossal brain melt. Let me guess, your reasoning is it isn't a coincidence because specifically Bible God for absolutely no discernible reason. Why, yes, I do have psychic powers. Why do you ask? Person who was about to ask that? Damn, I'm good.
I think not.
First true statement in this video. Fantastic.
Let me give you a few examples. The Earth is just the right distance from the Sun. It's not too close and not too far.
Nope, that distance changes a bunch as well as the Earth orbits the Sun. It gets closer and further from the Sun by some not insubstantial distances. There is no perfect distance to the Sun, you dope. It amazes me how folks like you are so confident whilst being so wrong in such easy to find out ways.
This is important because if it would be too close, then it would be too hot, and the heat of the Sun would boil up all of the water.
Wait, no, I need that water. It's incredibly important for sustaining life. What else am I supposed to freeze to put in tasty alcoholic beverages? If I can't have nice chilled drinks, I'm just blowing up the planet. That's a fair and reasonable reaction, I think you'll all agree. I mean, this guy would. He thinks his god is level-headed, and that guy is a dick.
And if we would be farther away from the sun, it would be too cold and the water would freeze.
Right, but what makes you think that you need either of those things not to be in order for life to exist? I know what makes you think that because you only know of the Earth creatures and you lack both imagination and some basic concepts about life forms that wouldn't need the same kind of environment that your standard Earth guy does to live, to know that just because Earth is good for you doesn't mean it's the only place life could form, or even has formed, and until you get to other planets and check, you have no idea. So maybe shut the f*** up about what you do or don't need to sustain life.
But fortunately, the Earth revolves around in what is called the habitable zone of the sun. This is a narrow zone where conditions for life are just right.
Or Goldilocks zone, or whatever. But again, think about it. If that is the only kind of place where life could form, then where else would it form? You're here because you had to be here, not because someone decided to make it for you. Also, bear in mind that there are other planets that have similar stats to that of the Earth. I mean, there could literally be near-human-like creatures all across the galaxy. Oh God, I just made myself depressed.
In addition, the Earth rotates at just the right speed to keep one side of the planet from freezing from lack of sun and the other from becoming scorched by constant sun exposure.
Haven't heard that one before, but okay. So there's the gotta stop it from getting too cold spin, but, well, that would have happened eventually as well. I mean, at one point it was definitely spinning faster and life was about then too, even though it might have been hot maybe, and in time will slow further. And I bet there will be life around then as well, just not any humans, thank your non-existent god. Hopefully whiskey will still be about though, otherwise I'ma be super bored.
Then there's our atmosphere. It's around 21% oxygen, just the right amount for life. If there would be too much oxygen, then we would have raging forest fires everywhere and huge bugs, because a bug's size is proportionate to the oxygen in the air.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, you seem to not believe that evolution was a thing, so are you one of them there creationists? Or perhaps something different but equally or more stupid. But let's say you are. I've heard an argument from that side that the reason a lot of the Bible people lived to ludicrous ages and were apparently giants to fill some plot holes was because there was more oxygen back then. Interesting, since you can't really have it both ways, can you, buddy?
If our oxygen level was too low, that could cause oxygen depravity, which results in nausea, fainting, loss of consciousness, and even death.
Here's a question. Why these specific conditions for life? Your God made everything, so why did he make it so we needed that much oxygen? Or that food is a requirement to survive? There's absolutely no reason a God couldn't make something that needs nothing of the sort. See, when you think about any of these claims for even a moment, they are shown to be ridiculous, with little to no effort. It's almost like these ideas are kind of dumb.
These are just a few of the conditions necessary for life to exist on Earth. There are many more.
The main one being, don't touch the... I don't know what the is, but some handsome guy keeps saying not to, so I think it's best to listen to everything he says, like subscribing, liking, and buying merch. You wouldn't want bad things to happen, would you? Yes, that is ominous. It was supposed to be.
Earth was designed to sustain life, just as God tells us it was in His Word.
His Word? What, the Bible? What if I told you that's not God's word? That's the word of some guy/guys who are telling you it's his word, and that's simply not the same thing. I mean, would you simply believe that someone said that your mum thinks you're a piece of shit? Or would you go to her and confirm that she thinks you're a piece of shit? I mean, either way she does, but you gotta check these things at the source, mate.
Isaiah chapter 45 verse 18 says,
Ugh, Bible babble. Can you not? It's always so unconvincing. When you read Bible chapters to make your point, all I hear is, I haven't bothered to critically analyse any of my beliefs and instead choose to regurgitate a bunch of unproven horseshit that other people told me to believe. I'm afraid it does nothing for me, mate.
For thus saith the Lord, that created the heavens, God himself, that formed the earth, and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else.
Of course it says that. It's pretending to be an explanation for the reason for things. But the fact is, none of it holds up, because for the millionth time, it wasn't written by people who were trying to figure out how things actually happened. They were making it up, or at best, had some wild dreams / drug trips and decided that what they saw was the real, and not a result of brain chemistry. Mostly because they had no f***ing idea what that was. Probably about as much idea as you have about how the world works.
Fact number 4. Humans have a sense of morality.
Nope. Not doing beating the dead horse again, just yet at least. I'm done. But we did manage to get through 2 whole proofs for God. Now, let's find out how many of them weren't completely f***ing idiotic. Oh, that's a shame. Well, better luck next time.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope. Wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the...